While everyone is fighting over the same audience on Facebook, trying to get more leads, more sales, grow the client roster, in today's episode, I really want to talk about how you can dominate using the power of YouTube ads. Now, YouTube is a powerful platform that you can leverage to have your message, your offer in front of the right target audience. And when I say the right target audience, I mean people that don't just have the desire for what you have to sell, but also that are financially qualified and that are in the buying season. They have the buying momentum to actually afford and get your services and your products. If it's the first time you come across my content, my name is Joly Tematio. I'm the head of growth at Hogan Consulting. We are an advertising agency where we work primarily with online business owners in the info product space, helping them scale in income and impact, leveraging social media ads, primarily on Google, YouTube, and Meta, the Meta platforms. Over the past 4 years, we've spent over $10 million across the board for our clients, and we've helped them generate multiple 8-figure. And now we work primarily with 7- and 8-figure clients, helping them get to the next level and really dominate their space using social media ads. And in this podcast, I really come back and share with you what we see work in real time. These are not strategies that worked in 2022 or in 2020. These are literally things that are working right now as I'm recording this episode, that are designed to help you, really get to the next level. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about YouTube ads in this episode is because YouTube is not just another ad platform, right? It's fundamentally different than any other platform out there, and that makes it very profitable when it comes to using it for your high ticket kind of acquisition strategy. And it's going to work for you even if you're selling a low ticket product, but I'm really going to talk here through the lens of someone that's selling a high ticket product, because those are the kind that we specifically work with most of the time. The first thing that I want to mention is that YouTube, again, is not a search engine. I mean, it's not a social media platform, it's a search engine. So it starts really by being a search engine, and which means that, and it's owned by Google, right? So those both companies are linked with each other. So the searches that are made on Google are also reflected on YouTube and vice versa. And just to prove it to you, for instance, you are on Google and you type in a keyword, like for a search term in the search bar, some of the results are going to be YouTube content, right? YouTube videos, and also ads. Now, the key things to keep in mind here when it comes to running ads on YouTube is that YouTube user have a dramatically higher attention span than any other platform, like primarily Facebook or TikTok. Because typically when people go on YouTube, they go with the clear intent. They want to learn something, they want to maybe deepen their skills, or they want to be educated or even entertained. Whatever the case might be, when people are on YouTube, they are there to stay. And a recent study has shown that YouTube has become a platform that's even more streamed than television. When comparing like streamer on YouTube, Netflix, and TV, YouTube literally outperform those platforms. So no matter what you sell and what the price point is, your target audience is literally on YouTube. So it makes sense for your business to be there as well, to be visible there. The reason why for the biggest time on the podcast we talk about Facebook is because Facebook is like the bread and butter for most of our clients. It's a platform that's relatively easy to tap into and to scale if you have the right strategy. And I want to make it clear that just because we start with Facebook, or just because I really talk a lot about Facebook, YouTube is a very powerful platform to tap into when it comes to really diversifying your ad platform. You don't want to be stuck on one single channel. After you've achieved consistently a certain revenue level or a certain ROI level in one platform, you want to think about, okay, how do I diversify my acquisition channel to really mitigate any risk that might come up, right? And YouTube is the perfect platform that you can diversify your ad spend to have even better results. So those users have the patience. They have a high attention span, which means that if you are selling to a highly educated audience, to a sophisticated buyer, if your sales process require you to actually educate your prospect around what you do, what makes it different, and why they should pay a higher price point, YouTube is the perfect place to actually get those clients to the door. One recent study by Google on research found out that 70% of viewers have bought a product after seeing it on YouTube. Now, this is huge because it means that YouTube is an amazing platform to grow not just the awareness of your of your brand and of your business, but also get viewers to purchase after they've seen your offer. Now, this doesn't mean that the first time they will see it, 70% of them are going to buy it after seeing it for the first time, but it means that it's a great place to get that exposure, that awareness, and also build that trust to get them to go ahead and purchase. Another reason why video ads or YouTube ads are very powerful comes from the fact that through the video, you're able to establish trust and relevance and even a deeper awareness way faster than just using a carousel image or an image ad on Facebook, right? Because they are able to feed into your energy and connect with you at a deeper level through your YouTube content. Now, let's talk about why most business owners fail when they try to run ad on YouTube. The first one really comes down to having the same mindset that they have on Facebook. They think, okay, I'm just going to take the same video that I'm using for Facebook and I'm going to repurpose them on YouTube and get traffic that way, right? They have no creative strategy when it comes to the way in which they design their YouTube ad. They think it's all about just the targeting and they can just use the same creative, which is it's a huge mistake, because the way in which you script your ad on YouTube is very different from how you script them on Facebook. Why? Because on YouTube, if you run those in-stream video ads, they're typically the one that you see the first 5 seconds, and you can skip it and go to your video. Those 5 seconds play a critical role, because if you are able to repel those that you don't want to serve and attract your ideal client within those 5 seconds, you can save a lot of money and have your ROI bigger, because for those 5 first seconds, if someone clicks skip and don't go beyond the 5 seconds, you actually don't pay. You don't get charged for that impression. While on Facebook, no matter if they watch 1 second or 10 seconds, you always pay for the impression. Also on YouTube, having them watch for, like having an ad that's structured for maximum conversion is going to help you really feed your pixel with the right type of data, because people are going to be clicking on your ad off to your sales page, to your opt-in page, are going to be the most ideal client, and then YouTube is going to learn those that you actually want to see your ad, that you want your ads to be shown to. The second reason why having a specific strategy on YouTube works wonders is because it not only allows you to grow your sales, attract more clients, but it also allows you to build a bigger brand. Now, if you've been creating content on YouTube and maybe you've gotten to a place where you've stopped growing and you're just hit like a plateau in your growth, in your organic growth on YouTube, running ads on your YouTube channel that are sending people to a sales page, to your offer, is going to lead those people back to your main channel and have them learn more about what you do, get them to subscribe, get them to buy into you, because they will before they even get on the call with you, before they even get on the call with your sales team, they will have consumed so much content from your YouTube channel that they will be primed and ready to move forward. So that's one of the biggest things. Now, the second mistake that most business owners make is actually they fall into targeting trap, right? They are using outdated placement strategy from 2020, 2021, instead of targeting culturally relevant channel or keywords that their audience is most likely to interact with, that their audience is most likely to spend time on. I was working recently with a client that literally told me that its ad strategy has been the same since 2021. Right? He had a YouTube media buyer working with him, and they've literally just had the same set of keywords, the same set of channels that they were going after, and he was very confused. Like, okay, our ads were crushing in 2021 and 2022. And since 2023, we've been struggling. And now in 2025, we are literally in a negative ROI and we have no clue what's happening. And when I did a deeper dive, I realized that the entire ad strategy, the entire YouTube ad strategy literally was the same since 2021. They would just like increase the budget, decrease the budget, but they were literally having the same batch of creative, the same batch of ad copy. They didn't really improve their placement, the targeting. They didn't really test anything different because they were too afraid for something to break. And that's typically what I see happen a lot with the business owner. Like they launch a campaign on YouTube and they're like, oh my God, if something goes bad, we don't know if you're going to be able to recover from this. So let's just keep things the way they are. Let's not change anything. And that's the recipe for disaster, because one thing that's certain is that things are going to change. You need to be able to learn and adapt as time goes by, or you have someone in your team that's actually focused on doing that. Otherwise, you're literally going to be, you are going to see a loss in your performance. So That's really key, and especially because YouTube has changed so much. So as of I'm recording this episode on May 8th of 2025, and YouTube has just introduced demand gen campaign, which are set to replace video campaigns. So if you are still running video campaign, those are set to go out in July of 2025 and be replaced by demand gen campaign. And the demand gen campaign has been introduced since the beginning of this year, and they allow you to not just have more placements on your target audience, platform. So you can now be shown, your ads can now be shown on Gmail. They can be shown in the short feed. They can even be shown in the discovery feed of your target audience. So the dimension campaign will hold more powerful than just the typical video views campaign. So if you're still relying on those video campaign, you need to change. So for instance, the placement as well, the placement targeting is back. It had been removed in 2022 for several reasons, and they've brought it back. As well, now you can have lookalike audiences. You can upload your own data on YouTube and have a targeting based on that data, just like we do on Facebook, for instance. All of those are changes that came into place at the end of 2024 and early 2025. So if you are just like doing the same thing over and again, you might skip, or you might not notice these changes. And the third biggest mistake that most people do that allows them to not see any result with YouTube ads is that they have no patience, right? They kill the campaign after 2 weeks, after 10 days, after 3 weeks, instead of asking themselves why it didn't work, what can we do better, what are the missing things that we can improve on. Those are things that you actually want to pay attention to if you want to see growth with your ads. It's literally very important, right? And so one of our clients that we were recently working with was literally ready to give up on YouTube, right? She had been, spending 5K on average per, 3K, sometimes 4K, sometimes 5K on YouTube. So on average, she was spending like 4K per month on YouTube with no result. And she was just like, you know what, Joly, this is not working for us. I'm just going to focus on organic marketing because at least I know what to expect. I know what our return can be. At the same time, she was also in the season where she wanted to grow her family. She wanted to step back from always having to create marketing and really focus on she wanted to get pregnant. She really wanted to focus on that side, on that season of her journey as a mom, as a wife, and just step back from the business. But she was so fed up by the lack of result on YouTube that she was ready to give up instead of keep on throwing money at the platform, right? And we made one fundamental change that allowed her to really start to see 2x, 3x ROI within 4 years of working together, right? And that change allowed her to really get more qualified and more sales call scheduled for her team. So, and that really comes down to using this high value targeting blueprint, right? Now, this high value targeting blueprint comes back to using intent-based targeting, which means that having your ads placed in front of people that have the highest likelihood of going ahead and purchasing. Because here are two types of people that you can target on YouTube. You can target people based on interest, right? So meaning that they have an interest in what you have to offer. They are curious about it. They're kind of warm, right? Or you can target people based on intent, which means that how likely they are to go ahead and convert, how activated they are when you talk about the pain point, or even what's the buying potential. And for when you're selling a high ticket offer, high intent win every single time, right? Because with a high ticket offer, you want to talk to people that are already sold on what you are selling them. They already understand the importance of having your solution, your product, but they just are not sure about who to trust, right? But they already know they need what you have to sell. Now it's a question of, okay, can I afford it? Can I trust this person? What does the logistic looks like? But they already know they have that pain point and they know how much that pain point is costing them. It's like if you are looking to, let's say that you are a fitness coach, right? And you help executives get back control on their health. You help them, just decentralize work and carve out time to get into the best shape of their life so they can have more productivity, more energy, and more focus to their business, to their work, to their life. Your target audience already knows how much having brain fog, fatigue, low stamina, low focus is costing them on a daily basis in the business. Now they're just looking for someone that's going to come up with a proven plan that's aligned with their lifestyle, with their constraint, that's going to help them get back in shape. And targeting those people is going to be very different. Your messaging is going to be very different than someone that's just interested in what you have to say. And when it comes to finding a high intent audience, you can use either a custom segment strategy, which means here you can literally type in the exact question, the exact search term that your ideal clients are currently searching for on Google and on YouTube. The second thing is placement targeting, right? Because the secret of getting in front of affluent people is placing your ads on channel that they are already watching. Right? Because if someone is, for instance, watching, if you know that there's this channel that my ideal target audience is watching, with YouTube, you can literally have your ads played at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the video of that YouTuber. And that's extremely powerful because you know they have a high buying intent, they have a high desire to achieve that result. That's why they're watching that channel. For instance, going back to the CEO that's looking to get his health on track, if there's a popular channel about, health tips, workout plan for executive, for busy people, that would be a great place to place your ads, to show your ads off. And we've literally seen conversion rates on those type of placement that are literally triple or even sometimes quadruple of targeting, just like irrelevant channel. It's really pays dividend to do that market research and understand, okay, what are the industry leader in this field, in my space, that my audience is watching. The third thing that you can do is think about lookalike audience, thinking how can I upload my customer list to create audiences of people who are most likely to purchase because they match my ideal client, they match our best client. And what I always advise is, instead of uploading just a random list of people that were on your website or that downloaded your freebie, think about uploading a list of your target, of your buyers, right? People that have spent the most to work with you, people that are literally aligned with your ideal target market, ideal target avatar, because it's going to allow YouTube to place your ads in front of those guys, in front of people that are just like them. That's the power of lookalike, and that's the reason why it's a massive breakthrough when it comes to succeeding with YouTube ads, leveraging that. And something that we've literally seen have a biggest difference on the plan that I was speaking with earlier, that was really to give up on YouTube ad. When we went back and we actually look at her targeting, she was really targeting everyone irrespectively of how much they were making. And so what we did is that we actually went a bit narrower because she was selling her offer for 15K. She had one for 15K and one for 30K. And we literally started targeting, instead of targeting everyone, we excluded the lower 50% of income earner in the US. That's where her target audience was based. And just having that change and targeting people that had the top 10 to the top 50% of household income in specific region really allow her to see an influx of better quality lead in her CRM and in her sales call. So that's really powerful when you implement these 4 things, and you can literally have 4 campaigns designed to target every single one of these powerful audiences, right? Now, when it comes to actually the framework, right? Okay, so how do I run my ads? How do I create these ads? Search-driven ads are different than interruption ads. So, for instance, when you are running ads on Facebook, it's typically you're interrupting people. They are like on Facebook to scroll, to hang out with their family and their friends, and they just see your ad pop up, right? They haven't really searched for your ads. On YouTube, typically, if you are using any of this strategy, you might hit people that are actually searching for the solution to whatever problem you are solving with your offer, right? And so the anatomy of a high converting YouTube ad is starting with a pattern interrupt. Now, this pattern interrupt is not about, like having a cat jump in front of the screen or having, like you with a crazy hat or with a crazy outfit. Like the pattern interrupt really has to call out specifically who you want to serve. Because again, remember, those first 5 seconds are really the place where you are calling out your target audience. You are calling out people that you want to serve. I've made an episode specifically where I talk about the anatomy of powerful YouTube ads, and I'm really invite you to go ahead and watch that video because I really do a deeper dive inside in terms of each one of these elements. So I'm going to have that linked in the description of this one. So the second part of your ads framework is really education-based story. That's where you want to really give them some golden nuggets, give them some win, give them some aha moment, and then you can do that in like 45 seconds. The anywhere from 45 seconds to 2 minute max works great. And then the third section is the call to action. You want to have a clear call to action that tells them what you want them to do specifically. And specificity here is your friend. And ideally, you even want to show them what you want them to do. So it's meaning that if you want them to go on your sales page and opt in, you want to be like, okay, go here, click on the button, go opt in, watch the video, sign up for a call if you feel like you qualified, fill out the application form, and someone in our team or myself are going to reach out to you. And you can even have like a screen share that pops up on the screen and that shows them how that process is going to look like. By doing that, it's really going to allow you to reduce the bounce rate on your page, on the page, because if you're anything like me, I'm now in the season where sometimes when I get on the page or when I even get on the room, I'm like, okay, why did I come here for? Like, what was the purpose? Because I sometimes have that just like those blank space and I can't remember why I came somewhere or why I want to do something more. So your process can be just the same in the sense that they are very distracted. They have a lot on their plate. They are thinking about 5,000 things at the same time. And even though they might have the desire, they might think, okay, I'm just going to do it later. I'm just going to push it for tomorrow, or I can do it at another time. And that's why when you see your call to action, you also want to add some urgency to get them to take action right now, because people are always going to procrastinate and wait unless there's something that they know that they're going to miss out on it unless they take action right away. So adding some urgency there is extremely powerful when it comes to getting them to go ahead and take action. So when you do it right, YouTube ad can literally last you months or even years. Like you can literally have a YouTube ad if it's like following a winning framework and it's really converting, what you can do it once and have it literally run for years. And that's extremely powerful. Like the frequency at which you can run is quite high. So now when it comes to the implementation, right? First of all, do some research. Research your audience. Think about, okay, what are the top 15, 20, 30 keywords that my ideal audience is currently searching for. Think about what are the top 20 to 30 channels that they are currently hanging out on, they are currently watching on a daily basis to learn about whatever problem my offer solves. That's really powerful. Do some competitor research. Think about, okay, which website, right? Which website beyond just the channel, which website are they going to? Maybe those are blog posts, those are industry publication, whatever the case might be. In which website does your target audience go to find solutions similar to yours? You can use every one of these things as a targeting segment on YouTube. And then you want to script your ads, right? Go back and watch a video where I talk about scripting your ads. You want to script at least, anywhere from 5. I like to start with a batch of 5 to 7 video ads using different marketing angle, like different hook, different persuasion angles, to just see what's going to resonate the most with your audience, because you never know unless you test. And really focus on addressing specific problems that your target market has and tapping into different desires that they are trying to achieve by buying a solution similar to yours, right? And then just launch your campaign following the proven structure. I might make a video where I actually do like a screen share and actually dive deep into how you can actually create a YouTube campaign. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section. I wanted to first have this one to really talk about how you can have better quality on YouTube. And something which I want to end with is that you don't want to touch anything, right? These are things that you don't want to do when it comes to optimizing your YouTube ads. You don't want to touch anything for the first 7 days, right? 7 to 10 days. Let it run. Don't touch anything unless you see that your ad it's not spending anything. It's not spending the budget. And then you can go and see, maybe I need to increase the budget. Maybe I need to optimize in terms of my creative. Maybe I didn't add enough creative, in my ads segment. So, but for the first 7 days, I wouldn't touch a thing. I'll just look at the result and I will let the algorithm learn and see the result that I'm getting. Am I getting qualified leads? Am I getting people that get on the page and that they don't buy? If they buy, or if they get on the sales call, what objection do they have? And based on that data, I can go back and optimize my ads. I don't just want to optimize based on my emotions and be like, oh my God, I feel like it's not working, or I feel like this should be better, or I feel whatever. Like, you really want to look at the numbers to inform which action to take to make your campaign perform at a higher level. And then you also want to start with a healthy budget. Like, I always recommend starting with at least 2,500 on a monthly basis to begin with and really see how your campaign are performing. And then based on results, you can go ahead and scale further. But anything less than 2,500, it might take a bit more time to get traction on the YouTube ads, right? So those are the key things that you want to have in mind. And something which I want you to really remember is that it doesn't cost you more to get your ad in front of more affiliate audiences, right? It's literally the same cost, but it's really going to allow you to have better results on the back end. And that's really where who you work with on your ad strategy is going to have a massive impact in terms of what type of results you get. People sometimes think that business owner thinks sometimes it's like a platform is against them or a platform is better than another one. Typically, it's not. It comes down to your skill level, like how skilled are you at that platform specifically, and who are you working with that's going to help you master what's required and implement what's required consistently to achieve predictable results and get you profitable ROI all the time, or like for the most part, and help you scale your impact and your income. It really comes down to that. And it's not about spending more, it's about being more strategic, it's about being smarter, about making sure that every single time that you spend on ads is giving you a whole lot more on the back end, like optimizing your sales funnel, thinking about different marketing angle, thinking about your sales process and also your marketing assets as someone comes into your ecosystem. How are those elements optimized for maximum conversion? It plays a massive role. And also realizing that when you spend on ads, you're acquiring data, right? Whether you're spending 2,500 or you're spending 3,000 or you're spending 50K per month, what I invite you to do is look at how can I learn from whatever I'm spending. So even if a campaign doesn't work, ask yourself why it didn't work. What was the bottleneck? Was it the creative? Was it the targeting? Was it an incongruency between the targeting and the messaging, or the messaging and even what they saw on the landing page? All of those things are going to play a role in your overall ads performance. But if you are just too focused on or emotional about the results, you might fail to learn critical lessons that will allow you to actually have better results when you do launch your next campaign. So those data is key when it comes to improving your ad strategy, no matter which platform, but especially on YouTube. So those are the key things which I wanted to share with you in this episode specifically. Remember that YouTube ad success comes down to how qualified people actually show your ads are, and how sophisticated, what's the buying intent, right, when they see your ads. And so if you implement all of this strategy, I'm sure that you're going to see amazing results. Now, if you want to work with a partner, like a growth partner that has experience in helping hundreds of businesses scale to multiple 7 and 8-figure dollar per year in the business, without spending a ridiculous amount on ads or without having to create a massive volume of content, reach out to us at Robin Consulting. You can find me on social media, on IG, on LinkedIn at Joly, Tematio. You can go to our website, robinconsulting.co, and schedule a free consultation session, a scaling session where we can learn more about your goals and how we can help you get there using paid media. So that's all I got for you. I hope you got value from this episode. If you did, make sure to share this with someone that it may help. Like I always say, sharing is caring, and the more business owners are educated in terms of what's working right now to grow the business, the more of an impact we can have, and the bigger of a wealth and growth we can have for ourselves and for our family. So share this with someone that you want to see win. I will see you on the next episode, where I'm really going to pull back the layer in terms of, okay, how do you actually launch a YouTube ads, like the nitty-gritty, like sharing my screen and showing you like the whole back end. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already a subscriber of the podcast, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.